Hello and welcome to Opinion Machine. My name's Killjoy, and today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch. Basically some kind of review, if you like, or my experiences with the Switch since I've had it since last week. Off the bat, I want to say that I absolutely adore this console, but I want to talk about things I like about it, maybe some things I don't like about it, but generally just talk about the console itself and how much I've been enjoying using it and just my thoughts and feelings on it. So let's kick off and say that, yeah, I got the Nintendo Switch launch day with Zelda, and I haven't put the thing down, basically, since then. The Nintendo Switch, as you've probably seen, is a portable console as well as a home console. You can take it on the go with you, put the controllers on the side, or take them off and use them in your hands separately, or you can put it into the dock for the TV and play them with the controllers in the grip that comes with it, or again have them separately left and right. Let's start with the actual console itself. The actual thing itself is like a tablet. The controllers slide onto the side of it, and the dock is not part of the console. It's just there so it can output to the TV. But the tablet itself is very, very smart. It's very slick. It's much thinner than a Wii U gamepad. It's about roughly the same size in length and width. About the same size as that, but much thinner. Has on switch at the top. It also has the speaker buttons up there, as well as the game card slots, a fan, head jack on it, and then a USB at the bottom and a micro SD on the back underneath the kickstand. The tablet itself has a touchscreen as well, which I have hardly used, but it does have one of those touchscreens, and there is a game out that I believe you use it. But the actual tablet itself is really slick and really nice. Booting up this system, the steps you go through to set it up and when using it entirely are really nice. The system's very quick to use. It never really turns itself off. You goes into a sleep mode, but you can literally, as soon as you hit the button to turn it back on, you can just boot up straight back to the menu screen and straight into the last game you were playing, if that's what you want to continue playing. And it's all very fast, much faster than how the Wii U was. Very little waiting time to get into and out of games and back on the home screen. There isn't much else to say about the system itself in terms of the operating system. It's very slick, it's very basic though, and it's almost uncharacteristically not Nintendo. What you get when you load up the console is you get greeted by a screen that has boxes. If you've got games installed, or the game card one, it will show you a picture of said games. It'll have the users registered in the top left, and then on the bottom underneath the games it'll have your news button, your eShop button. It also has a system control button, as well as a album button and a controller button, brightness, and an off switch. Essentially, it's very simple. Shows you the battery, shows you the Wi-Fi, shows you the time, shows you what configuration you have the controllers in. Compared to the Wii U, this operating system does feel quite lackluster in terms of not being a huge amount there. However, compared to the Wii U's one, like I said, it is much quicker. You go in and out these options and stuff much faster, it's much smoother. The only thing that's really missing, which I would have loved to have seen return, would be Miiverse, which was the thing when you boot up the Wii U, you're greeted by all these Miis, and it was, you could go on it and look at posts and stuff, and it was a really good idea. But unfortunately, it doesn't really make a return here. I don't know whether that's something they'll think about bringing down the line. In terms of the operating system itself, it is very fast, and jumping in and out of games has never felt so so quick. So that side of it is really good. Now, if we talk about the controllers, I think the Joy-Con, or Joy-Cons, or however you pronounce it, are some of the best controllers I think I've ever used. Purely in how versatile they are. Now you have a left and a right one. On the left one you have the minus button, a joystick, a split D-pad, and a button that's for capturing, as well as a L and a ZL, and pretty much the same on the right one, except you've got the face buttons, the home button, a plus, and ZR and an R. Like I said, you can hold these separately in your hands, and they feel very comfortable, they're very light, they fit nicely where your fingers will sit, and you can play games with them completely detached. It feels very relaxing to use these, and they're something that I very much enjoy. You can then turn the controllers on their side, and they kind of look a bit like a SNES or NES controller in terms of they're very simple. You've got the analog stick, and then on the left one you have the directional buttons that become face buttons. But you also have these two extra, they're called SL and SR, which act as your L and R button instead. Now you've turned the controller on its side, so you can't really use the ZL and L anymore. But the system comes packed with two straps, which also raise up the buttons that sit on it, so that it actually makes it even more comfortable. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, is how good these controllers are and how versatile these controllers are. Being able to play Zelda with both of them, fantastic, works really well. But then if I want to play something like Bomberman, and I've now got two controllers, the game uses many less buttons, I can take the controllers apart, I can hand one to somebody else, and you've already got two controllers out the box. I think this is a great idea. This is a very smart decision on Nintendo's part, because you have a full controller here, but then if you want to play a game that requires many less buttons, you can just hand it to somebody. So if I have a friend round, I don't need to buy an extra pair of controllers, so I can hand them one half and we can play a game of some kind. I have not had the chance to use the Pro controller, I don't own one of those. So as far as I'm aware, these are really, really good. I'm sure the Pro controller is good as well, but you could then obviously slide these onto the gamepad or the console itself, and they fit really nicely on both sides. I actually really like this configuration, more so than having them separated. When separated, you can also take the tablet out and set it up on a kickstand and play like that, which works really nicely. I think it's a great idea, great for travelling, great for going on holiday. But yeah, I like the controllers on the side of said console because like the weight and everything on it is perfect. It's got some weight to it, but the controls are perfectly spaced out. They fit nicely in my hand. My hands feel nice on the back of it. I'm not feel like I'm holding quite a small thing here. It feels really nice. My fingers sit perfectly on the top, and the screen quality is amazing. It's a really, really nice screen. It looks beautiful. I've played a few games on the go of it now. I've taken it with me on the go, and I think it works really well. This is such a good setup. Like I said, you can take the controllers off and use them and have the thing in table stand mode. But this is definitely the way I play it. It's like playing a big version of a 3DS. Except with another analog stick. The other thing about the controllers is you have that grip that comes with the console when you buy it, which lets you slide it in, gives it a more traditional feel to a controller, which I also very much enjoy. I read about, before I got one, that some people thought it was a bit small. Maybe that's still the case for some people, but my fingers fit really nicely on these controllers. I very much enjoy using the grip over using them separately, even though that also works well. For the most part, I do enjoy the console and the controllers. I definitely think that the joysticks are maybe a little bit small, but they still work pretty well. I'm not a huge fan of split D-pads. I can see why they've done it for this console, because when you hand a Joy-Con to somebody else, when you turn them on the side, you need face buttons. So the left Joy-Con has the split D-pad instead of a regular D-pad. Not a huge fan of it, but it works. You know, that's the main thing. But I would like to see a Joy-Con come out that has a traditional D-pad on the left, because I'm more likely to play single-player games, and if I'm going to play multiplayer games, I'll have other Joy-Cons, hopefully, as well as a Pro controller. The dock itself, not much to talk about there. It's pretty small. You put in your power cable, you put in your HDMI cable, and it also has USB slots on it. You slide the console in there, it fits nicely. It's USB-C, which means you can charge it on anything, but this particular one connects to the TV and you're off. Very simple in and out. The tablet and the controllers are the things you're going to be using a lot and trying to see, you know, like how good these things are. Overall, I like I said to start with, I love this console. I think it's brilliant. I think the idea and everything's creative, and I just can't put the thing down. If I had any gripes with it, it would be a case that it does feel uncharacteristically Nintendo, with the operating system being very simple. All the colours and things there, but it feels like it's missing some stuff. But maybe that's things that will come down the line. This console is well made, in my opinion. It is definitely worth the money on its own. Basically, like, I would say that if you want to get a Switch, they're definitely worth it. They feel good in your hands. I can't see if you want to drop that kind of money on it. Maybe wait till there's more games out. But as far as the hardware goes, I think the hardware is really, really slick, very well made, and it just feels good. It feels comfortable. And that's what you really want when using one of these things. That's basically what I want to say in this video. I want to just let people know that what I think of the Switch and how much I've been enjoying it. I can't speak to some of the other peripherals yet. I don't own them. Maybe I'll get back to them at some point. But definitely, if you get a chance to get your hands on one, worth just feeling and seeing how you think about it. At some point, I will do a video talking about Zelda, so look forward to that one. But for now, that's it from me, and I will see you guys next time.